Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our Live Free Legal webcast. I'm Tiffany Lesnik, a domestic violence attorney, survivor, and legal advocate for women who are navigating some of the hardest battles of their lives. Every Tuesday at 7 p.m., we gather here to bring you encouragement, strategies, and real stories of hope. Today, I'm especially excited because I get to introduce you to someone who not only survived domestic abuse, but she is now thriving as a successful entrepreneur with 5 Rings Financial. Her name is Allison Strickland. Some of you may already know her. Her journey shows that you can rebuild your life, take control of your finances, and build something beautiful out of the ashes. Allison, thank you so much for being here with us today. Before we jump into your financial wisdom, because we really want to talk to women about investing in them or investing in you after abuse, I'd like for you to share a little bit about your personal story. What inspired you to get involved in the financial part of business after everything you've been through?
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here, Tiffany. And I have always been very proactive about my own finances. I've always felt really passionate about building a personal retirement for myself, making sure that I was going to be able to retire comfortably and not worry about money. I was actually in this business about 10 and 11 years ago. And then I was pregnant, had a baby, and just because of circumstances wasn't able to continue with this business. But the passion has never left my heart. Mm-hmm. And now, after going through abuse, it's become even more personal for me. It's become a mission because I want to empower other women who are going through abuse or have been through abuse to be able to do the same thing for themselves. They can build a financial legacy for themselves and their children. I know a lot of women in our situation have been told that they can't do this without a man, you can't do this with me, you're never going to be able to work. A lot of women have never worked, and I'm here to tell you that you can do this. You can do this for yourself. It just takes little steps over time.
And so many times in abusive relationships, women have been financially isolated, right? And so they don't have control over the finances or the money. They don't have the ability to earn. So they think once they leave a marriage or an abusive relationship, they don't know how to invest in their future. They don't know if it's possible to be able to put away for retirement or to put away for their financial future. So we're here to talk about some of those things today. How do you overcome after leaving an abusive relationship with financial authority? And your story is so powerful, and I know you've created something really practical that can help women who feel overwhelmed or afraid to make financial moves after separation or abuse, and you call them 5 safe money moves. So 5 safe money moves. Mm-hmm. So let's walk through them together because I think so many of our viewers will find peace and clarity in these steps. What's your number 1 safe money move?
I think the thing that's most important is to really just take a step back and to pause and to breathe and just allow yourself to know that everything is going to be okay. You don't have to have everything figured out at the moment. Just take a step back and breathe.
I think that's such good advice because as victims, survivors of domestic, we are constantly in a position where we feel like we need to fix our problems immediately. Like we needed to fix the abuser's problems immediately, right? Pacifying them always immediately. So we're always in that posture of, I need to fix this now. And then when we're going through the legal system, we're having to make choices immediately. So we're kind of conditioned to be in this frenzied state of having to make like immediate choices. I love this first piece of advice to just pause, right? Because so many women feel rushed, pressured, or even threatened in making big money decisions. Why is it okay or even wise just to take a breath and pause?
Well, you don't want to do something with your money that you're going to mess up because you haven't thought it through. It's really important to just take a step back and just breathe. You've been through a lot, so just allow yourself the time to kind of heal from that, to just recover, get your breath back, take ownership of yourself, authority of yourself, and just know that it's one step at a time. And today's step is just to really breathe.
That's awesome. That's great. So Allison, what is your number 2 safe money move?
It's very important to know what you have. So I would take an inventory of all of your assets, your expenses, your debts. Get really clear. Even if it's messy, even if it looks horrible, even if it is scary to you, you can't grow and you can't move forward until you know exactly where you are. Creating a budget is important. Do you have a safety net? Do you have $1,000 saved? Do you have a big debt that you have to pay off? Get really clear on what that stuff is and then make a plan. And yes, a budget is very important. It's just good to know what money is coming in and what money is going out.
Can you talk about why knowledge here over your finances is really power, especially for survivors?
Yeah, knowledge is power. I mean, it is, I think, in everything, but especially in our money, we just need to know where we are before we can get to where we're going. We need to be clear. Do we have rent? Do we have mortgage? Do we have debt? What are our expenses for our kids? All of that stuff, get it down. And then, where am I falling short? Do I have enough money to cover all these bills? What can I do? If you don't know where you are exactly, you're not going to get where you're going. So again, like I said, even if it looks messy, even if it looks scary, it's really important to just face it.
Right. Okay, so what about number 3?
Number 3 is that you want to protect what is yours. I think it's really important, especially going through, domestic abuse. You want to make sure that you have your own account, that you have your money protected. You don't give away your passwords. You don't share your information with your ex. You have to just be really careful. You have to be really sly and really just full of wisdom as you're doing that. Protect what is yours, and because it's yours and you own it.
This particularly, I think, applies to women who are maybe the primary breadwinners of the family, because not all domestic abuse situations occur with women who are not allowed to work. Sometimes women are the wealthier of the two spouses, and it's the husband who refuses to work, right? They sit home and they play video games all day and they fail to contribute anything to the household. I think, especially if you're the one who has the majority of the assets, it's very important for you to keep inventory of what you have and to protect what's yours. What are some practical ways to shield your money from risk while still seeing it grow? Tell us about 5 Rings Financial and what you're doing there.
Sure. A lot of people, back in 2001 and 2008, we had huge stock market declines, and a lot of people got very scared about putting their money in the market because of the risk. A lot of people went from risk to safety. If you think about safety, you think about savings, you think about CDs, you think about just putting your money under the mattress. It's fine, it's going to be there, but it's not really going to grow. And with inflation, you might even be losing money because you're not able to keep up with the rising costs of everything. On the other side, we have risk. We have the stock market, we have gold, we have crypto, all of those things that really can earn you a lot of money. You can grow, but there's also a huge risk involved. So what 5 Rings does, we land in the middle. We are very pro foundation. We want to make sure that you build a foundation first before you do any of that fancy stuff. But we take the element of safety, mix it with the element of risk, and we call that indexing. So what that means is that in an index account, when the stock market goes up, your money goes up. But when the stock market goes down, you never lose any money. So you never have to worry about losing anything that you've ever put into your account. And that's growing small amounts of money over time. You might get all the upside of the stock market. There's a cap, but there's also there's a floor. So you're never going to go below 0. So if the stock market dips 50%, you're not dipping 50%. You're staying right at 0.
And this is what you do with 5 Rings Financial.
This is what I do with 5 Rings Financial. These are called indexed accounts. So for example, if you have a 401k from an old company, and you don't want to put it in the market, it's a 401k rollover into an annuity. So basically, like I said, your money is going to go up when the market goes up, but when the market goes down, you're never going to lose any money.
So is this one way for women to invest in their future while reducing their risk?
This is how people can invest in their future while reducing risk. One other thing that we strongly believe in is living benefit. I know everybody has heard of life insurance. I know everybody has seen people on Facebook or social media put GoFundMe pages up because they don't have any safety net in place. We believe in safety and building that foundation. Everybody is familiar with the kind of life insurance that has a death benefit. So it doesn't benefit you, it benefits your loved ones after you pass away. But the life insurance that we do is life insurance with living benefits. This allows you the opportunity to tap into your account while you're still living. So in the case of a critical, chronic, terminal illness, you can get money so that you can use to make sure that your income stays above your expenses. One of the leading causes of bankruptcy, of small business failure, of foreclosure is because people get sick and they don't have a foundation in place.
Right, and we know unfortunately that the longer you've been in an abusive relationship, the more likely you are to develop chronic health conditions later in life, right? Just because of the physiological effects of the stress of being in those types of relationships. So that's an excellent point and something to be thinking about. Which leads us to your number 4 safe money move, which I think ties in nicely to what we just talked about. What is your number 4 tip?
My number 4 tip is to prioritize you. Just being in a family, regardless of whether you're in domestic abuse or not, we are always prioritizing everybody else. We're prioritizing our husbands, we're prioritizing our kids, we're running around, we're doing a million things, we're juggling. And when we're in the middle of abuse, we're in flight or fight mode, and we're just trying to survive. So prioritizing you, putting yourself first is very important. Making sure that you have your financial future set and secure. Maybe you don't have it set and secure at the moment, but just to really take a step back, think about you and think about what steps you need to make so that you and your kids can build a really strong financial legacy.
Right, and Allison, this is one of my favorites, especially for survivors, because you are important and you have value, right? You are more precious than rubies, so you should be investing in yourself. Why is it so important to start investing in your future now?
There's no time that you're going to be healthier today. You're not going to get any younger than you are today. Today is the day to start. Again, even if it looks scary, even if it looks overwhelming, you can take small steps. One thing that we do at 5 Rings is we have a 5 Rings funnel. And what that means is we take a look at everything you have, all of your bills, your mortgage, your rent, your electric, your car payments, everything. Typically, we're able to save people about $150 a month, and that's really just by reinvesting what they're already doing. So finding less expensive ways to keep what you have and unloading some of that extra money that you can now start using to grow for your future.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. And the earlier you invest, are you more likely to accrue more assets?
Yes, it's never too late. So if you're older, don't be alarmed because we can help people at any age. But yes, the younger that you start, the better. We actually have something called a $1 Million Baby account that I started for my son when he was 15 days old. So you can put these things in place for your children so that they never have to worry about their financial futures. But yes, the younger you are, the more time you have to grow your money.
Right.
And the less money you have to put aside to invest. The older that you are, obviously, you have to put more aside and you have less time to accrue it. There's no time like today to start.
Right. And so that leads us to the number 5 tip that you give to women. And what's that number 5 tip?
Ask for help. You don't have to do this alone. We are here. I'm happy to talk to you. And at 5 Rings, one of the other things we do, we never pressure anybody. We are here to help. One thing that we do is we have financial seminars. Some are in person, some are online. We have one that's called Money 101, where we teach people how to grow their money and talk about all these strategies of the wealthy so that you can avoid risk and keep your money safe. The other thing that we do is a little bit more fun and interactive, but it's called Wine, Women, and Wealth. We do them on Zoom and in person, and it's more interactive. We have fun. But again, we're always learning new financial tips. At any of these workshops that are online or in person, we give the opportunity for you to tell us if you've learned something that you like, that you want to know more about. Great, let's set up a time to talk one-on-one so that we can really dig into the nuts and bolts of your personal situation. If you don't, we're really happy that you came and we will never pressure you.
That's awesome. And it's so hard for survivors and victims of domestic violence to ask for help because we've been taught to remain silent. We learn to cover for the abuse throughout our relationship. It's so important to ask for help, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with asking for help. What does safe, supportive financial help look like? What makes 5 Rings different than maybe another financial investment company?
We work with middle income Americans. A lot of the financial firms out there are looking for those 500,000 plus earners. We work with middle income Americans just like me and you every single day, and we can help you wherever you are. Like I said, one of the things that makes us different is that we don't pressure anybody. We have safe money strategies. We also work with some of the largest, strongest financial firms in the country. One of our favorite is called National Life Group. They've been in business for 150 years. They have never denied a claim. They've paid out on everything. So our CEO does all the legwork for us to make sure that we are putting our people in the right places. I actually just met with somebody last week who was looking at moving money, and when we did the analysis, it didn't make sense for her to move it. So we'll never pressure you into doing something that doesn't make sense for you. We also never come up with a solution on the first time we meet you. We take the time to really get to know you, to really understand what your needs are. It takes us 3 or 4 times to really put some illustrations together, to put something together that fits your needs and is really going to sit well with you. And it's building relationships over time. We're very no pressure, but we're always there. And it doesn't cost anything to have a conversation.
Ladies, I hope you're catching this because Allison's story proves that rebuilding your financial future isn't just possible, it's powerful. You can win the money game with strategy, safety, and support because again, you're not alone. If you're listening today and you feel overwhelmed, let Allison's story be a reminder that you don't have to stay stuck and you don't have to do it alone. Allison, I am so proud of you. She's a living testimony that you can overcome abuse and still do things to help other people and invest in your future and invest in your career, and you're doing it, right? You're like a living testimony to that. And so before we wrap up, where can women find you if they want to learn more about your work and these safe money strategies?
My email address is Allison, Allison, at thinklikeamillionaire.org. Again, I really believe that thinking powerfully about yourself and your situation is important. Thinklikeamillionaire.org. So Allison at thinklikeamillionaire.org. My website is thinklikeamillionaire.org. I'd love to talk to any of you.
I love that. I love that title. And then the Wine, Women, and Wealth that you mentioned. Can anyone
Participate in that? Yes. If you're in the Raleigh area, we are having one in person on October 1st. And again, the best way to get registered is just to email me directly so that I know that you're coming and I can welcome you. But also, if you're anywhere in the country, we have in-person and online webinars all the time. So it's very easy to get tapped in. You'll always be welcome. Just email me so that I know and I can get you looped into somewhere in your local area.
Is it national?
We are national.
Okay.
Our headquarters are in Colorado.
Okay, that's great to know.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again, Allison, for sharing your wisdom and your heart today. And to our viewers, remember, your past does not define your future. You are worthy of safety, success, and financial freedom. Please give us a thumbs up, like us, and share this with another woman that needs to hear this. Join us again next month on October 7th at 7 p.m. as we celebrate Domestic Violence Awareness Month, where we will begin a 2-part discussion with Judge Ashley Parker, who is also a survivor of domestic abuse, and she also sits on the domestic violence bench. Until then, keep standing strong, keep building, and keep believing you can do this.